I'm Joanna from Jamestown Distributors, and this is TJ Harris. TJ is going to demonstrate to us how to replace the water pump on this 4-stroke Yamaha outboard engine on our 1970 Seacraft.
You want to make sure you replace the water pump every 200 hours or every other year to keep the engine's coolant system running smoothly. If you don't keep up with regular replacement, you can cause serious damage to your engine, which will end up costing you a lot of money in the end.
Great, well, let's get started.
First, shift the motor into forward and trim the motor up. Next, remove the access cover for the anode bolt and remove the anode. Remove the bolt that is hidden under the anode. Remove the 6 nuts around the midsection, and don't forget the one in the front. Disconnect the water tube. To make the job much easier, place the lower unit in a vise or fashion a stand with 2x4s and clamps as we did. Remove the 4 housing bolts. Remove the impeller housing, metal impeller, cartridge, plastic and metal collars, and finally the washers. Pay attention to the order and note that the wavy one goes in the middle. Now remove the impeller. The tolerance is very tight, so make sure that the drive shaft is clean of debris. Remove the shaft key. Finally, remove the wear plate and gasket. Make sure the gasket surface is clean and install the new gasket and wear plate. Put a small amount of grease in the keyway to hold the key in place. Now it's time for the new impeller. Make sure that the notch is on the bottom of the impeller and install it. Apply a thin layer of grease to the impeller cartridge. Install the washers and collars. Insert the impeller cartridge into the housing. Use grease or a dab of glue to hold the new O-rings in place. Now slide the pump housing down to the impeller, and while turning the shaft key clockwise by hand, push down on the housing until it's down to the plate. Grease the 4 bolts and install them. Now grease the drive shaft and the splines at the top. Make sure you don't get any grease into the dimple on the very top of the drive shaft. Now reinstall the gear housing. Before you push it all the way up, connect the water tube. If it gives you trouble going the last few inches, spin the prop clockwise to align the drive shaft splines. After tightening up all of the bolts, hook the motor up to a water source and run it. Make sure the telltale is spraying water and the motor shifts into forward and reverse.
Remember, you can save your engine from serious damage and the headache of trying to fix it by keeping up with this simple maintenance routine of replacing your water pump. You can find everything you've seen in this video at JamestownDistributors.com.